Sam, the kidnappers have been in contact with Chicago PD.
Demands?
Negative. The only thing they want is to make sure the police steer clear of the area.
Why take hostages if you don't want anything?
So you start basically on the Navy Pier where the SWAT team is responding to a hostage situation. So you start with an infiltration there through the rooftop of the Navy Pier. You're going to go through a winter, through a hall that had a winter festival, a Christmas festival there, and you're going to discover that it's a bit deserted. And it's going to be, at the beginning, it's a bit like untrained guys with cheap gear, but progressively you're going to discover that it's part of something bigger, and that, and you discover if the engineers are really behind that attack or not.
We can hardly see the top. Daddy's axe goes chop, 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 and down comes the trees, perfect as a tree can be.
In this situation, one of the best way to deal with it, for example, is to use a lot of gadget to distract the hostiles and them, or take them down from behind when they are looking away because of the distraction you've created.
Screaming no more fighting back. I should have done it to start with. Huh?
Or pass by them and not be detected. You can also use, there's a lot of verticality in that level, so you can use a lot of pipes, a lot of ledge. It's really helpful to take advantage of the environment. So in this mission we're using the sticky noise maker. It's a super cool gadget, one of my favorites. You throw it on from Sam, you can throw it on a surface. As soon as it sticks, it's going to emit a little noise, and the enemies are going to react to it and go investigate it. So that's a good opportunity for you to take them down or pass by.
One of them, big guy, thought he was tough.
Come on,
What the hell was that? I didn't hear nothing. You killed him?
We're also going to use like the sticky camera. The sticky camera comes equipped with a sleeping gas. So from the sticky cam, like you can throw it somewhere, attract the enemy to that position, and when the enemy comes to investigate that position, you can release a sleeping gas which is going to make the enemy fall asleep at that moment. And what is also extremely interesting is that you're going to see in that mission that like some enemies are like of course they react to what's happening around them. So if you take down a guy with the sleeping gas, but you don't take the precaution to like hide that body, well then another guard patrolling there is going to react to it and come investigate what happened with that guy.
Hey you, get up!
You're gonna encounter basic enemies, but you're gonna encounter one of our archetype that is called the heavy. So it's a guy that is heavily armored. He's got a helmet, so you cannot headshot him from the first shot. You have to pop his helmet out and then perform a headshot. He's got also, his helmet has also a gas mask, and you got also some regular enemies that have gas masks. So the sleeping gas work on some enemies, but not on all of them. So you have to play smart with the tools you have at your disposal.
What the fuck is that? Someone's spying on us.
We also have in that mission one of our enemy that is called the drone operator, and this guy is hiding in a part of the map, and he's on his computers and he's operating little drones that are patrolling. They have a red lens flare, you can see them, and those drones are pretty little, because if they detect you, they will run to you and explode. When they are close to you, so you have to use your tools again to sneak behind them or deactivate them. You can also deactivate them if you shoot them once. You can mark them and make them detonate later, because they detonate if you shoot them twice. So what's super cool with the drone operator is that you can sneak by to reach his position, and if you the thing also that I didn't mention is like the drone operator is jamming your vision mode. So suddenly if you were used to use your night vision or your sonar goggle to progress through your environment, while the presence of that enemy in an area is going to make you're going to have to adapt to the situation and change your plan. And when you're going to take him down, you're going to regain you're going to regain your sonar goggles and your night vision mode, and all the drones that he was controlling are going to be deactivated at that moment.
Okay, Sam, you're entering an old sewage tunnel. It looks like it heads towards a water filtration plant.
Could be their actual target.
No, the drone isn't responding. Hang on. Sending another one.
Your men are after the water filtration plant. Why?
Go to hell. I'll tell you. Biological weapon. They're using a disease.
To poison the water supply? How do I get the bombs off the hostages?
The code. Flash drive on my belt. I told you everything you wanted. I helped you. You can't kill me, please.
That's actually a moment in the mission where you start to really realize that the engineers are behind that attack, and you, at the end of it, you have the choice to spare that guy or to kill him.
Grim,
We heard it all, Sam.
give me a flash drive. Connecting it to my OPSAT now. Relay it to Chicago SWAT. Tell them thanks for their patience.
Sam, surveillance footage shows the vans Charlie tagged at the airport arrived here an hour ago.
Shit, I'm too late.
We don't know that yet. Hurry.
The engineers have been set up poisoning machines that are putting poison in the Chicago water plant.
Sam, they're pumping bioagent at 2 locations.
I'll take care of them. We can keep the contaminated water inside the plant.
And so you have to deactivate those machines, and it's pretty challenging because you got a blend of enemies. So you got 2 heavy enemies that are protecting the poison machine. So my favorite way of doing it is to stay perfectly stealth and not be detected. You can also sneak by, like send a distraction gadget like the stickiness maker, and then sneak by the heavies that are protecting those poison machines. It's actually a great way to do it. That's my favorite.
First pump's offline. Charlie, how's the valve looking? Pump's offline. Grim.
It's good work, but it's too late.
Shit. What now?
And so once you've done that, you're going to have to do an extra objective to prevent the water plant from Chicago to distribute poisonous water to everybody.
Facility contained.
I think we can officially call American consumption a failure. Good work, Sam. Now let's get you out of there. Briggs?
Chopper's on the ground. Let's go.
The engineers redirected a shipment from a level 5 CDC containment facility at Northwestern. Weaponized plague bacillus.
Yeah, that would have pretty much wiped the whole city out.
You located cure yet?
Your test results came back negative for infection.
Just got the official all clear from Chicago.
Hey, you're welcome.
Don't pat yourself on the back, Charlie. We got lucky. We slapped together a mission based on hunches.
You're right. That's why we won't waste time playing defense.
We have another option?
Defense is what Sadiq's expecting, what he's planning for. That's why we go on the attack.
How? We don't have any targets, and we can't afford to split our focus from the Blacklist.
We keep playing catch-up with the engineers. Sooner or later, we're gonna miss. We hunt them down. Force them to make mistakes.
We'll be taking you into the later stages of a mission that happens in the midst of a Blacklist attack from a global terrorist unit called the Engineers.
Looks like Louisiana, Sabine Pass.
That's the biggest fuel facility on the Gulf Coast.
Every fuel facility on the coast has been infected.
If that fire spreads,
They'll all go up one by one.
3, 2, 1, go!
Grim, I'm on the ground, headed toward the down chopper. There's gotta be a way to stop this fire.
If you can find me a terminal, I can nuke the virus, clear their system.
If you can make the run to the terminal building, Sam, Charlie can shut the flow of gas down.
Tell me the op suit's not flammable and I'll take a shot.
Right. Good luck with that.
The Engineers have hacked a Louisiana liquid natural gas terminal, disabling its firefighting system. They then rammed a tanker into the terminal, turning the whole place into a seemingly irreparable inferno. Sam has to maneuver through the burning facility to get to the control center to stop the flow of gas and prevent further destruction.
Sam, I've managed to hack into the Engineers' commo in the terminal. You wanna listen?
Patch me through.
In Splinter Cell Blacklist, Sam has become the leader of 4th Echelon, an elite clandestine spec ops unit.
I've reached the terminal building.
Great. The control room is on the top floor.
Sam's team offers support while he's in the field.
Hang on.
In this particular mission, Charlie needs Sam to access the controls so that he can hack back in and reactivate the fire prevention system.
Pulled it off, Charlie.
I have control of it all. Lights, doors, security feeds.
Now that the blaze has been contained, Sam has to hunt down the leader of this Blacklist attack.
Sending you the location.
I'm moving.
LSG control systems are back online. Look, it's sending it now! What's happening? Report! They're taking back the facility.
Here we have the deadly heavy infantry. These enemies are decked out in full body armor, meaning that open combat is probably not a great idea. Neither is trying to take them head on. They're also immune to sleeping gas, electrical weapons, and rounds from the crossbow and tri-rotor, so you have to play it smart. If you want to engage them, do so from behind or above.
Nothing stupid now or you might get burned.
The sticky camera not only has a noisemaker that can distract the heavy infantry, but it can also release sleeping gas. Check this out. Pop off his helmet, removing his gas mask. Night, night. If you want to go lethal, another option is the incendiary grenade. The heavy infantry's armor is impenetrable to everything but fire. And this brings the heat.
Get down to ground level if you can, Sam. You're right on top of the leader.
Shit! The systems are back online. They must have retaken the facility.
Should have a visual on the leader now, Sam.
Got him. Moving in.
Sam must now work fast. With backup from Charlie, he's got to chase down the engineer leader and gain more intel about the Blacklist attacks.
Charlie, I need you to...
Got it.
Get the ambulance ready. Sadiq needs me out of here, now!
This was just a small slice of the map.
They're escaping in an ambulance. Get the UAV up and track it.
Stay tuned for more news about Splinter Cell Blacklist in the weeks to come, and as always, thanks for watching.
I'm Pat Redding, Game Director for Splinter Cell Blacklist. Today I'll be taking you through the Abandoned Mill, and we'll look for a few different approaches for tackling this level. We'll be showcasing the 3 playstyles present in Splinter Cell Blacklist: the Ghost, the Panther, and Assault. First, we'll ghost through this section of the map, which means we'll take a silent, non-lethal approach and use the shadows as cover. We can tell by the goggle glitch that there's a tech enemy nearby. This enemy jams our visual signal, rendering our goggles useless for the time being.
Oh, come off it. That was never offside.
What the hell are you watching?
Some game from South America.
There are a number of enemies below, so let's look for another way down.
Bad football's better than no football, you ask me.
The tech enemy's dangerous. If we get detected, he's also able to deploy recon drones, which can hunt us down and deliver an explosive payload. Now that Sam is in the shadows, we can take out the tri-rotor safely and do some reconnaissance to figure out where that tech enemy is located. The tri-rotor is equipped with sonar vision and can access areas that are too dangerous or difficult for the player to navigate. The tri-rotor can also mark enemies that are out of line of sight, perform non-lethal takedowns, attract enemies, or detonate itself if things get messy. We have to be careful though. The tri-rotor makes noise of its own and is visible to enemies, so if we get caught, all hell will break loose. We've spotted our tech enemy hard at work on his laptop. Now we're going to use the sticky shocker to take him out. Of course, that's going to leave a telltale body lying around for the enemies to discover and get alarmed with. So we need to move quickly.
What have we got here? What's that?
One way for us to manipulate the AI is just to attract them outright with a whistle or a whisper. Another method that keeps our ghost score intact is to use sleeping gas and other non-lethal gadgets. Because this enemy is standing in the light, this is one way for us to slip past undetected.
Stay alert. He's here somewhere.
The game detects individual actions that fit within the Ghost playstyle or Panther playstyle or Assault playstyle and awards points accordingly. As always, Splinter Cell is a game about light and shadow and using it both to hide and as a weapon against the enemy. Sam can create shadows when he needs to. Now, as you can see, Sam's iconic night vision goggles are back. Our AI is dynamic, which means when they discover that things are disturbed or not where they're supposed to be, they'll come and investigate. Sometimes the player can use that for their own benefit. Now that the tech enemy is out of the picture, we can use our sonar goggles to better see our surroundings. Light and shadow are hallmarks of Splinter Cell. We'll use the shadow as our cover to move through this area.
All clean here. He just sent us a message. What's your back? We've got to be close. Come up now and I'll treat you gentle.
I'm gonna sit tight right here.
Now, we're going to go through the same area, take a slightly different approach, the approach of the Panther player. This approach involves staying undetected, but striking lethally from the shadows and leaving no one standing.
Bad football's better than no football, you ask me. Watch this lot long enough, you might change your mind, mate. That keeper there, he's not bad. Find 20 more.
When the opportunity presents itself, the Panther player will line up multiple enemies for a killing in motion finish. And as with the Ghost, it's still possible to attract and manipulate the AI. It's just the end result is a lot deadlier. For the Panther, mark and execute is not only an opportunity for killing in motion, the opportunity to move into a close quarters kill is all part of a chain series of takedowns.
Drone is locked.
Now let's go through the same area a third time, this time to see how the assault player will handle it. This player is all about taking kinetic action. They don't mind being loud, they don't mind being detected, because they know there won't be any witnesses left behind to say anything about it. We're going to be more aggressive with these guys here and see what happens.
Watch this lot long enough, you might change your mind, mate. That keeper there, he's not bad. Find 20 more like him, and you might have a game.
With the assault player, moving in stealthy into close quarters is just an opportunity to grab an enemy in human shield and use them to soak up some bullets when entering combat.
That's not gonna help.
Last known position can be used to mislead our enemies. Because we were detected, the enemies are now on alert, and the tech enemy has launched his drone attacks. The gameplay in Splinter Cell is dynamic, meaning the AI gets a vote as to what happens next. Let's keep advancing and take that tech AI out with some hand-to-hand.
Drone is locked.
That was just a snapshot of what you can expect. Stay tuned for more Splinter Cell news in the weeks to come.
Briggs, Jadita's in the upper village. Look for satellite dishes.
Got it. Standing by for you going exfil.
Sam, Homeland Security can't find the Blacklist target. We're down to hours before the attack.
Copy.
All right, so what we're going to do right now is show you a few things that you didn't see in the Blacklist demos from E3 or Gamescom. Just so we get some of the formalities out of the way, everything you are witnessing here is in a pre-alpha state. Some of the AI mechanics are really early, the non-lethal animations haven't been added to this build, and that's probably something else we should mention. The demo that you've seen is exactly that, a demonstration designed to show off some key elements, like killing in motion and support from the newly formed 4th Echelon team. We're going to avoid those elements and show you some alternate pathways and a bunch of other cool things, but we'll get there in a bit. All right, so this guy's obviously busy washing his hands. It's not getting in the way of good hygiene. Let's go around. So what we can see here, we've got 3 enemies over there by the truck, at least 1 further back, and then there's the hand washer to our right. Let's try and go at this from a different angle. As we wait for an opportunity to move, take a look at Sam Fisher, the sweet job the animation team at Ubisoft Toronto has done. Sam's always aware of his surroundings. Now look at that. Cliff. Now this cliffside will provide a great way to get around the bend and avoid all those bad guys. In fact, let's take a look and see exactly what we missed. Alright, we found another cliffside, and with it the opportunity for some more sneakiness. But you watch the original demo in that top right corner while we get into position for our next move. That was killing in motion, and we're not going to do it. Let's try and do this quietly.
Sam, I'm seeing half a dozen soldiers and a high-caliber technical across that bridge. Could get loud.
Not if we don't let it. Back to the sneaky. Alright, we appear to be in good shape. Let's see the damage report. So in the original demo, we took out 7 guys using an abduction takedown in the tent before we went on a killing in motion tear, which ended with that badass Mozambique drill. In this Ghost playthrough, on the other hand, we left them all standing. It's your choice. Do as you wish. You've heard us talking about a variety of gameplay, and it is most definitely in there. We'll get to share more of all the playstyles in our coming communications. In the interim, let's see what's brewing on the other side of this cliff. Just hope you're not afraid of heights. Okay, so as you can see, as you may know, dogs are indeed back, and they can be pretty tough to deal with. Let's try to get by without having to take them out.
You smell something?
There. All right. Okay, so far so good. Let's use our goggles now just to make sure. Alright, so the dog seems to have found something else. In the original demo, we went to our right over there, so let's stick to the left. Alright, as long as we don't get detected by the dog. Alright, so he's heading toward where we just came from, meaning it's time for us to move, or the dog could track our scent and then subsequently alert the guards.
Move out! Jadid's on his way. Secure the area. You, anything moves, shoot it. Keep the machine gun secure. The rest of you, start a sweep.
Graham, technical in the plaza. Looks like an armed escort to pull Jadid out.
Copy. Truck is targeted. On your go.
So just like in the original demo, the truck has been targeted. Whether you want to use the assistance from Grim is obviously up to you. Let's not this time around. Okay, one thing I can show you, due to our pacing this time around, is moving bodies. And non-lethal animations weren't yet added to the build, which is why we had to kill that guy. Let's just make sure the coast is clear before we hide the evidence. Alright, that was close. Let's get this guy outside. Alright, here should do. And because they're doing patrols, let's just go ahead and close this door to cover our tracks. So instead of going into a firefight, perhaps using some blind fire, let's once again find another way around. Now, you may not have seen it at first, but a little exploration goes a long way. That's the truck right there, and by this point, that fire for effect window for Kinect or your controller will be long gone, even if the truck remains. Alright, so onwards and upwards. We still got to get to Jadid's hideout. All right, now that we're on the roof and in a pretty safe spot, let's look at the casualties once again. In the original demo, 12 enemies were killed while 2 got zapped by the sticky shocker in the water. In this Ghost playthrough, we killed 1 bad guy simply for the sake of showing you moving and, more importantly, hiding bodies. There wasn't any of that at E3 or Gamescom. The original demo, we showed off the airstrike. This time around, we decided to let Grim just sweat it out. Now, like a lot of the other things you've seen here, the goggles are still a work in progress, still being tweaked, but you at least get to see how the pulses work for now. Let's rappel down and say hello, shall we? We hope you've enjoyed this alternate take on the demo you've already seen. Let us know your thoughts. Facebook.com/SplinterCell, @SplinterCell on Twitter, also the forums, forums.ub.com.